Danny fell into step beside him. The streets of Darkwater were already emptying, everyone moving inside earlier than usual. "I'm not joking around, Ryan," Danny said. "I've heard it. 2 years back, right outside my house, late at night." "Heard what?" Danny went quiet for a moment. "My mom's voice. My mom has been gone for 6 years, Ryan." Ryan didn't have an answer for that. The next day had the particular quality of days before storms. Everyone moving with purpose, getting things done early, watching the sky. By late afternoon, every porch in Darkwater was empty. By evening, every door in town was shut. Ryan and his wife Sarah sat in the living room. The television was on, but neither of them was watching it. Around 10 o'clock, Sarah turned off most of the lights. She was trying to seem casual about it, but her eyes kept going to the door. "You doing okay?" Ryan asked. She gave a small smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Ask me again in the morning." At 11, the town was so quiet that Ryan could hear the bayou moving somewhere in the dark beyond the tree line. He checked the locks. He wasn't sure when he decided to do that, but he did it. Just before midnight, there was a knock at the door. Both of them went still. "Did you hear that?" Sarah whispered. "Yes." A pause. Then it came again. 3 knocks, even impatient. "It's probably just," Ryan started. Then a voice. "Ryan, Ryan, open up. Please, Ryan." The color left Ryan's face entirely. It was Danny's voice. Perfectly, completely Danny. The particular rhythm of how Danny said his name, the slight roughness in his throat that had been there since high school. "Ryan, man, I need help. Please." Sarah grabbed his arm. "Don't. What if it's actually him? What if something happened? Ryan, remember what Elder James said." The voice came again, more urgent now. "There's something behind me, Ryan. I'm serious, man. Please open the door." Ryan was already at the door. His hand was on the deadbolt. The last train. New York City. We stayed way too late tonight. Marcus grabbed his laptop bag and rubbed his eyes. The office building on 5th Avenue was completely empty now except for the two of them. Every other desk was dark. Every other chair was empty. Night with stars. "I know," said his co-worker and closest friend Jade. "I'm completely exhausted. And starving. My stomach has been growling for the last 2 hours. Weary face." "Mine too. Come on, let's move fast. If we miss the last subway, we're finished. There won't be a single cab willing to go all the way to Brooklyn at this hour for anything reasonable. Metro. Give me 2 minutes. Let me pack up my laptop and we can go." Honestly, I was starting to feel a little scared staying this late. First time I've ever been here past midnight. "Thank God you were with me." Anxious face with sweat. "Nothing to be scared of while I'm here." "But seriously, Jade, look at the time. It's 12:45. We have to run to the station." Face with steam from nose. They handed the security key to the night guard on their way out and sprinted down the block toward the subway entrance. Person running. The platform at 34th Street was almost completely deserted. At this hour, the whole city felt different. Quieter. Heavier. Like the air itself knew something the people didn't. Fearful face. "You know what?" Jade said, looking around at the empty platform. "We should travel late more often. At least we can actually breathe down here. During rush hour, you can't even lift your arm." Station. "I know. Every morning and evening we're packed in like sardines. At least tonight we'll actually get seats." Marcus laughed softly, smiling face with smiling eyes. "So what do you think? Are we still doing that weekend trip? I desperately need to get out of this city. Just for 2 days." Jade leaned against the pillar. "Evergreen tree. Absolutely. Saturday morning we leave. No laptops. No emails. No deadlines." Marcus smiled. "You need it. I need it. New York will survive without us for 48 hours. Grinning face with smiling eyes. A crackling announcement echoed through the station. "This is the last floor." Not resting. Not sleeping. Broken looking. Like something had been done to her spine that couldn't be undone. She was absolutely motionless. Ghost. Jade felt the air leave her lungs. She snapped her eyes away from the window and squeezed them shut, turning her face hard in the other direction. Her heart was slamming against her ribs like it wanted out. Fearful face. The train lurched, and picked up speed again. The wheels screamed on the tracks. Through the window, the dark tunnel walls blurred past. When Jade finally forced herself to glance back at the reflection, the corner was empty. The girl was gone. Skull. Jade told herself it was exhaustion. Tricks of the light. The reflection of a shadow. She told herself this several times very deliberately and almost believed it. Anxious face with sweat. The scratchy speaker overhead crackled. Next stop, J Street Metro Tech, J Street Metro Tech, loudspeaker. The lights in the car flickered once. Hard, like something had grabbed the power and shaken it. Then they steadied again. Light bulb. 3 more stops and we're home, Marcus said cheerfully. Food's been ordered. 40-minute delivery estimate. We're going to time this perfectly. Smiling face with smiling eyes. Good, because I might fall asleep standing in our lobby waiting for the elevator. Jade managed a small laugh. She was trying very hard to appear normal. Face without mouth. She was looking at Marcus while he talked. His face. His mouth moving. She was focusing on him deliberately, keeping her eyes front, keeping them away from the windows and the dark reflections in the corners. And then, over Marcus's shoulder, through the connecting window between their car and the one behind it, Jade saw the back car. Face screaming in fear. The girl was there again. Same dress, same hair, same broken neck angle. But she wasn't sitting in the far corner anymore. She was sitting in the middle of the back car. Closer now, much closer. The flickering yellow light of the car made her white dress look like it was breathing. Ghost. She turned toward the light, and on her face, for just one instant, was something none of them had ever expected to see there. Fear. She took 2 steps backward, deeper into the water. They looked at each other without a word. They all knew. Fire was the way. Then she collected herself. Her red eyes swept across the darkness where they were hiding. You've learned my weakness, she said softly. None of you will leave this town alive. Walter grabbed Henry's arm. Run. Now. We know what we need to know. Real fight is tomorrow night. They ran. The next day, all of Harrow Falls was buzzing. Nobody doubted anymore. The creature in Blackwater Pond was real. It had been taking their people for decades, and tonight, it was going to end. My family has lived under this terror for 3 generations. An older man told the crowd gathering in front of the community hall. Every few months, someone goes missing. Tonight we finish this. If we don't do it now, our grandchildren will still be living under this shadow. Marcus had spent the day preparing. I've got 20 lengths of heavy chain. If we can pin her down even for a few seconds, we can get the fire circle closed around her. Henry had been thinking. Last night, when I looked at her face, I noticed something. She doesn't just live in the pond. Her power is connected to the water itself. Pull her away from it long enough, and she'll be weaker. Silas nodded slowly. And I've been thinking about what old Thomas said. She wasn't born evil. 100 years ago, a woman was accused of witchcraft in this town. Probably because she was different. Maybe because someone wanted her land or her silence. They tried to burn her, and she ran into the pond to escape the fire and drowned. She died terrified and wrongly accused, and that terror and that injustice kept her here. He paused. The pond is where she died. It's also where she can be ended. The same place. The same element that killed her. That night, the whole Abel. Completely covering her face. Her arms hanging at her sides like strings with nothing holding them up. Ghost. Marcus pulled his eyes away so fast he felt dizzy. Cold sweat was running down the back of his neck. His hands were shaking against his thighs, and he was pressing them down, trying to make them stop. Skull. She's standing, he said. Just those 2 words. Jade grabbed his arm with both hands. Hard. Face screaming in fear. The lights in the car went crazy. Strobing. Flickering. On off so fast it turned the car into a nightmare of yellow and black. Light bulb. Marcus, we are getting off at the next stop. I don't care which stop it is. I don't care how far we are from home. We are getting off this train right now. Jade was on her feet, face screaming in fear. Yes, absolutely. The second those doors open, The light steadied for one moment. And in that moment of steady light, Marcus turned his head because his body turned it before his brain could stop it, and she was there. Fearful face. Right there. 3 feet away. In their car. Standing in the aisle between the seats. Still. Silent. Head down. Hair hanging. White dress. So close Marcus could have reached out and touched the fabric. Skull. The scream that came out of Marcus was not something he planned or controlled. It came from somewhere very old and very deep, and it brought Jade off her seat instantly. Face screaming in fear. She saw the girl and screamed too. Both of them on their feet, backs against the window, arms locked together. Nowhere to go because the girl was between them and the door wasn't open because the train wasn't stopped, and the train wasn't going to stop for another full minute. Metro, who are you? Marcus shouted, his voice echoing off the metal walls of the car. What do you want from US? Leave US alone. We haven't done anything to you. Please just leave US alone. Face with steam from nose. Jade was crying. Her nails were dug into Marcus's arm, and she was crying and shaking and saying his name over and over very quietly. Crying face. The girl did not react to any of it. Did not lift her head. On the way home. $42. Neither of them said a single word for the entire ride. Automobile. The food was waiting on the doorstep when they arrived. Neither of them could eat it. Pizza. Marcus sat at the kitchen table with the lights on. All of them. Every light in the apartment. Jade sat across from him with a blanket around her shoulders, even though it wasn't cold. Anxious face with sweat. Eventually, Marcus opened his laptop and typed in the search bar. He wasn't sure what he was looking for. He typed the name of the station. Atlantic Avenue. Subway. Deaths. Laptop computer. The results loaded. He read for a while. His face did not change expression, but his hand stopped moving on the trackpad completely. Fearful face. There had been several suicides at various Brooklyn subway stations over the years. Atlantic Avenue. J Street. Various others on the same line. The most documented was a young woman in 1998. She had been found on the tracks. The MTA had closed the station for 3 hours. Nobody had ever determined how she ended up there. Skull. There was a photo with one of the articles. Blurry. Old. A station platform. And on the platform, at the far edge of the frame, near the yellow safety line. Barely visible. Almost certainly just a lighting artifact. The suggestion of a figure. White clothing. Head bowed forward. Marcus closed the laptop. What did you find? Jade asked from across the table. Nothing, Marcus said. Old stuff. Nothing useful. Face without mouth. He left the lights on all night. Light bulb. Jade fell asleep on the couch around 4 in the morning. Marcus stayed awake at the kitchen table until sunrise, watching the windows and listening to the sound of the city coming back to life around them. Sunrise. He never took the last train again. Metro. Neither did Jade. And sometimes, late at night, in the specific silence that falls over New York City in the hour before dawn, they both heard it. Not loudly, not clearly, just at the very edge of hearing. Ear. The sound of subway wheels on tracks. Getting closer, then stopping. The